Hello, so my name is Stephanie Big Eagle. I am in the process of writing a book, and it's called Rising Thunderbird. And I wanted to share with you what I believe is going to be the introduction and the purpose of this book and why I'm writing it. So this is called We Choose Our Experience. For years, I have heard this idea that we choose our experience, but it didn't really begin to resonate with me until very recently. The idea that I was ultimately responsible for all the trauma I endured as a child and adult was so foreign and terrifying to me that I absolutely refused to accept it. Until now. Why would I have chosen an experience or contrast that was so challenging? I believed for a very long time that I hadn't chosen it, and therefore I was a victim. And as a victim, I suffered over and over again from the same trauma patterns and abusive cycles. Yet, I sit here now on the other side of my trauma, and I realize and accept that the only way to ever heal from what I endured is to accept full responsibility of my experience. To accept that I chose every single aspect of my dysfunctional family, of the sexual abuse I endured, of being separated from 4 of my children, of sitting in prison 3 separate times for a total of a year, and the last sitting carrying my youngest child with me in my womb for 8 months. To accept that I chose being in relationships that were unfulfilling and narcissistic, and chose to be betrayed again and again by people that I loved. I chose to carry the karma of generations of the effects of genocide and colonization through my genetic inheritance. I chose to come into life and experience right from the beginning rejection, loss, abandonment, abuse, betrayal, neglect, and injury. I chose to experience the darkest of contracts so that I could learn to overcome it and thus to enter into the lightest joy of connection with my own inner being. Thus, each and every person throughout my lifetime who inflicted pain or betrayal upon me became a teacher of the contrast to me, and therefore showed me what I did not want from life, yet also showed me that the light of my inner being could never be harmed by any external influence. That what was in me was so intensely powerful, sacred, and strong that there wasn't a force or being on earth or from any other place or dimension that could take away what had always belonged to me, my inner essence, my eternal power. I no longer replay my sad stories and traumas inside my memories to haunt myself like I did once without control every single day. I no longer mourn my children as I did for every moment of the last 10 years and live in fear of what they might be enduring outside of my presence. I no longer sacrifice my peace for a dysfunctional relationship, which had before been my attempt to fill a void within myself, a void which existed because I was disconnected from my own light source. As I continue to live out my experience, I am finally stepping back into the place of personal power that I have always been, but had forgotten. And thus I'm allowing myself to continue to share my life's experience from the most healed, connected, and conscious perspective possible. I'm still working on that too. I'm not writing this book to just share my sad stories or a perceived victimhood. I am writing this book to demonstrate that it is possible to, and most importantly, how to transform against the greatest of odds, to fully own our experience, and to thus reclaim every facet of our power. to step away from the victim mentality in order to reshape the fabric of our reality and ultimately to fulfill our highest potential no matter what we have been through. I wouldn't go back and change a single aspect of my life experience thus far. For understanding the contrast and how it has been mine and humanity's greatest teacher is one of the greatest purposes of my lifetime. This is the experience that is the core of my upcoming book, Rising Thunderbird. Thank you very much for reading and or listening to this and being a blessed part of mine and our experience. Wopila, with all of my heart. Wopila.